Because in my practice, in my one-on-one sessions, or the way my students started accessing their own Akashic records, there was this need of understanding how the lower world functioned. It was not so penetrative like a few years back. Probably if I go back 2000, or something like that, it was not so prevalent. Okay, things were quite sealed, separated, compartmentalized, and stuff like that. So people were still okay doing what they were. I remember in 2000 in India, I think the most popular divination or mystical thing was astrology. We Because our root goes back into our traditions, and everyone knew what astrology was. I think our parents also believed that, acha, agar birth chart nahi dikhaya hai, to we'll not get them married or will not do certain things. It was that prominent and prevalent. Now, after 2012, things have started shifting. Okay, there was this planetary alignment that happened, and in that, I'm not going to get into a lot of detail because then we have a lot to cover here in the class. So that planetary alignment opened up certain portal where accessing the higher realm became easier. So 2012, people started getting awakened. 2008, I probably feel people were very curious about tarot cards, other modalities, and people started learning. I also found my teacher just by surprise. I really don't know how I found her, but she was one of the most amazing teacher. And, at that time we used to go, there were no internet, computer was not accessible so easily. I used to travel the other part of Mumbai to, just be with her and learn with her. So those were the times, and people were just warming up. We really didn't know what spirituality is. We just only knew doing the rituals that were followed into our family special days, Diwali, or certain times of the Pitru Pakshans, those kind of days that we were following. 2012, a lot of energetic and psychic work started coming into the limelight. People started learning it. I myself had my, kind of a breakthrough in that time where I realized that, okay, I can still do certain things which I had never aimed on. If you would have met me in the older times, I would not have never called myself healer. I would have said, Acha, healing, मैंने तो रेकी सीखा नहीं है, I can't do it. But today, sitting here, I don't even need to practice Reiki because I do certain things that I access from my Akashic records, and I can contribute to people's life. 2020 was something when another massive portals opened up. 2025, we saw 7 planetary alignments where the lights were coming in. And when I am talking about these important timelines, the way we can access the higher realms, the lower realm can also access into human consciousness. And that is why in last few years, it has become very, very important that we understand how the energy works. Our ancestors, our grandmothers were expert into reading the energies. Their kitchen was a witchcraft lab. And over the years, we have forgotten because of colonization. We think that what our grandparents were practicing was not great. Well, I have had conversations with some of you, and you have said that, oh, now I remember my grandmother used to do this, and at my great grandmother's times, this was a common ritual or a daily practice. So this class is kind of, is something paving back to our own culture. Not necessarily everyone who's gathered here are practitioners or are the spiritual readers or healers. So I've made this class where these tools you can carry in everyday life. You can use it for yourself, you can use it for your children, and you can use it for your family as well. So coming back to how energies have started shifting, our lifetimes have become very modern. We travel so much. We go to the places that earlier we would not have gone to places. We explore strange establishments because that's kind of cool, and our horizon is expanding. Now a lot of things are possible which earlier was not possible. We have transportation, we have internet to book everything. My own experience in Scotland 2 years back was horrifying. And that's when I realized that, okay, listen, I cannot keep this knowledge to myself and I have to break it into a smaller parts and share it with others as well. Despite me having my own everyday practice, I came back from those Scotland walks. I came back with few energies back home. And I had a kind of a incident in the middle of the night where my entire family was involved. I had to sit there for 2 hours and clear those spirits. So that was an eye-opening experience. And I realized that if we are not aware, if we are not protected, if this can happen to me, imagine what will happen to normal layman who are just, going about their days. So understanding this energy is very, very crucial. You will hear me repeating this sentence again and again because when we work with this energy in our class of spirit communication, sometimes the students, they themselves are carrying certain energies, and those soul, they say that it has become very, very important thing for us. We are lost because there are no clarity for us as well. Now the souls that we are communicating with are also humans when they were, some time back. One thing I realized, the way the human population is increasing, the souls who are lost, the souls who are used for certain left-handed magic is also available in abundance. More population, more souls are also available. Now, if I am going back to 2012, 2020, those iconic energetic shifts, uh, people are becoming more aware spiritually. 2020 was eye-opener for the entire globe. After that, we have seen that, so many people are saying that, oh, I had a spiritual awakening. I became aware to my spiritual gifts and things like that. They have started becoming more sensitive to energy, more curious about all this knowledge that is available to us. Like earlier, there was time that we were information deprived, and now there is a time after internet explosion that we have so much of information, but we don't know whom to follow. Like there is a lot of information, everything is available at just a press of a button, but we really don't know what is meant for us, what is humbug, what is someone's imagination, what is right path. That's why I've started creating these small programs where, I can talk about these things, because unless someone is enrolling for their one-on-one session, or if I'm teaching a course, there are hardly these kind of a conversation that we have in our daily lives. Even if we are meeting monthly for our meditations, I mean, it has a limited time, and every time we can't spiral down to such a spiritual conversation. So this has become very, very important because people are becoming spiritually aware. They are trying, they are learning certain modalities, nice, but at the same time, a lot of other newbie healers and teachers are mushrooming. Someone who have just learned for some smaller time, who has not embodied their knowledge. So no judgment here for everyone. Someone is really gifted and they have unlocked their gifts. I have seen those kind of experiences or those cases also. But at the same time, these, the people who are new to energy, they themselves are exploring that arena. They have also come up. So it's very important that we understand how energy functions. So because if we have embodied that knowledge, our own awakening, our own gifts, we are able to fine tune them better. So that is where this entire premise of this class is going to be, making you aware how energy function. Now, energy is something, it's like the spiritual world. It's always cohabiting with us. It's not separate from us. The lower vibrations are also functioning with us. There is no separation. It's just that with our physical eyes and ears, we are not able to identify their presence. But our bodies are intelligent machine, and our ancestors have always relied on our bodies. So my aim has always been that how you make your body your best friend is very important. How you understand how energy is interacting with you through your body is one of the priceless skill that you can develop for yourself. And no matter how much I can, talk about it, the importance is greater than we can imagine. That's what I'm trying to say here. So, understanding how energy is shifting within us. I go to a place, I go to a crowded place, I go to mall, on weekends, it's very crowded. How that place in that moment is making me feel, that awareness is very important. Is my gut reacting? It's saying I'm having butterflies for no reason. Is my shoulder started to ache? That kind of a understanding. And this minute understanding comes when you are focusing on your breath. So, what you are going to teach here should be practiced carefully every single day for you to create that system for yourself. Because as people have started becoming aware about their own gifts, they have unlocked those certain aspect of themselves which they are bringing from the past life. I have had students like who have read for the cards, and in just 3 months they become very professional. It's something that they have brought in from their past lives. So when such amazing scenarios are happening, the lower vibrational energy is also surfacing to latching onto these people who have just identified their energy. Why? Because they are easy prey. These people in this timeline will have more emotional spiraling down, uh, more phases where they are not able to understand their energy. Emotions are heightened. They are not able to identify whether these are the attachments that they have come on them, leaking their energy, just becoming a pylons on them, or it is their own trauma which has come on the surface, so that they can clear their energetic space and bring in more energy. So these incidences have increased suddenly. In modern lifetimes, we are so used to using our gadgets. So we are always occupied with our work. The modern lives have become very fast paced, stressful. So we are always operating from our intellectual level, and we are not grounding ourselves into the lower chakras. Now, the beauty of this understanding this chakra system is it really tells you what you have to do in that time. I spoke about that how our human lives are, or even for that matter, we have come here into this lifetime because we have to experience the physical life through our physical body. What does that tell me? That it is very important for me to land in my lower three chakras: solar plexus, sacral, and my root chakra. Okay, so if my modern life, so if I am not grounded into these three chakras, I am not fully experiencing what is happening to me. What I am experiencing is speed, stress, overthinking, processing through my logical mind, and I'm not allowing that information to land in my lower chakra. Everyone is with me when I'm saying this? So we need the foundation to be rooted into our lower chakras if I have to be present into my physical body. Now, see how this is cyclical. If I have to be, if I have to deal with the lower vibrations and deal with the energy intrusion into my body, I have to be rooted into my three chakras. Because once I am completing my entire chakra system, I am feeling present, I am aware of that chakra system, only then all of that what we are going to learn is going to work for you. So the importance of three chakras, if I have to be fully present, I mean, there are people who are on a daily basis working here in their hospitals, in their corporates, in their companies. Some of you are reading for others. Some of you are practicing breathwork, pranayam, yoga for others. So it's very, very important that you are rooted into your seven chakras. Now, earlier times earlier, before, like say from 90s, from I think from 70s to probably 2000 and 2010, uh, we all have operated from our seven chakras. Earlier, our ancestors were operating from all their 12 chakras were accessible and they were open. As we are becoming modern and the civilization is moving ahead, we are becoming more into, when I say that we are more anchored into the other distractions. So, and we don't know our own power. So, because we don't misuse our powers, the divine has made sure that we operate only from the seven chakras. So, whatever chakras, Koyali, I know what you're going to ask. I'll come to that. So, when we are operating from our seven, sorry, I lost my count. So when I am grounded and only I have the framework of my seven chakras, it becomes all the more important for me to understand how the energy is functioning. Now, one thing when I am not rooted into my three chakras, what I spoke about, solar plexus, sacral, and root, a person will always operate from the fear. And fear is a kind of a latching aspect for the lower vibration to suck in a person's energy. It becomes very, very easier. That's why the new practitioner, new spiritual workers, they get attacked. They have, they have known about their energy. They have found out about their gift and they're working towards it. It's like a primary school child is trying to learn to talk, establish himself into the social scenario, do his things properly. So it's still in a vulnerable position. The child has not come into his or her authority to understand that, listen, this is my boundary, you cannot cross that boundary. Now, this is one way for a lower vibration to attack our energy. Another way is when I am operating from my upper chakras. I am constantly into overthinking. I'm constantly worried about how people are perceiving me. I'm constantly worried about, how I am going to show up. People are judging me. I'm fearful. The person is carrying their own emotional traumas. It could be the traumas from their childhood, the pain and the fear they are carrying from the past life. All of that matters as well. I'm just going to share the information about it. We are not going to dive deeper because it's a very deep subject. All of this allows you to cling on your fear unconsciously. And that is what we are going to understand more deeply. So you are able to release your fear and tell your energy body, this is my sacred space and I'm operating from there. Okay. So now let's understand what our energy fields are and what is energy. That is the basic understanding is very, very important. Before I get into that topic, Koyali, you had a question.
Hi, Vinita. You mentioned 12 chakras.
Yeah.
So, is it like within the body or?
Yeah. Within the body, then they are, so it is within our auric field.
Okay.
7 chakras in the body and rest 3 are within our auric field. So they are connected to our main chakras, but they go 6 inches below ground, above our crown, 6 inches, and 1 or 2 feet away. That is where our connection to the divine is. So that's how the 12 chakras are. Very few people have 12 chakras open nowadays. Yes, Gitanjali.
Ma'am, in spite of our practices, like if we are doing a healing basis or self-healing practice for all our chakras, how do we exactly know that we are not grounded? How do we exactly come to know? Like, as you said, someone who's new might not be able to actually understand, okay, I need to ground myself more better. So, how do we identify it by ourselves? It takes time. Like, okay, yeah, this is not something I usually do. I'm acting out of fear. I'm very impulsive. All those signs, but it takes time for us to understand. It takes 2, 3 days, and by then we have reacted and behaved impulsively, all that. So, how do we know that we are not grounded enough in the current scenario?
You
How
have
do we
already
identify?
identified that I behaved out of character. That's
Yes,
your
but it takes,
identification one.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
But
It takes
before it
until maybe two,
happens,
3 days
so we'll
at
understand
times.
what is our energy field, and when we are when